It's Christmas. We almost learn to love each other. It's not about trying to get better or using your ego to make you control things. Because in philosophy, you talk about why we're here, what we're doing here, why we matter, and there's different rules and theories in philosophy. I just like to call it being alive. It's a whole process. It's a journey. It's not going to be the same for everyone. We try not to look into other people's faults too much, and we try to become reasonable people. And just being good, not attacking someone out of near necessity, not indulging in gossip. But, that's also impossible because gossip is everywhere, every time. However, I think as we grow older, we tend to not care too much. Which might mean you have less goals or you're less ambitious. But then there's mental illness, which creeps in, which can always destroy your life. Or can get you something to fight against to have a better existence. Life is not the same for everyone. It's not going to be the same for everyone. So if you preach something so hard about some behavior, you're probably in the wrong here, because humans adapt, they overcome, they change. And it's Christmas. It's time of celebration throughout the world. Not just of Jesus Christ, but of a new year. And just like my life, I like how I think and how I, process information. I have lots of sensory perception issues, which makes me have different types of ideas. I was always growing up very shy, destroying laptops and computers, breaking them apart, hacking things and making robotics, and reading lots of Agatha Christie horror books. But at the same time, I, had good friends and still do. But times changes, we change too, with our thoughts, our lessons, and we try to have a good life, which is different for everyone. And for me, it's being with my family, being able to create things, tell stories, change things in life, and just be really cautious and enjoying those small things like touching grass or going for a swim or smelling the rain. Things don't have to be too complicated. We don't have to talk about God and existence all the time. However, I think it's important. As a male, I have experienced loneliness, depression, suicidal thoughts, and I think it's all because of the internet, in my view. Because growing up from 6 years old to 13, I didn't have a cell phone. I was born in 2002, which means I'm a Gen Z, and I just loved my existence without a cell phone. To watch CDs and CD players, watching television, playing with my Wii or my DS. The phone came later, and I would experience nature in Germany when I lived. I was in front of a forest, so I just would walk in the woods and build snow igloos and have snow fights with my brother. Play with termites that I found on the stone steps to my house. Go to Egypt and pretend to be an archaeologist at 7 years old. Reading Indiana Jones, writing a book. It's exciting, to do things, not just stay in my room all day. Even though that's what I'm doing here. This wants to be my stream of consciousness, I have very lucky parents to be together, and they're very loving. They stay by my side no matter what. They gave me a lot of stuff, so I could be a bit spoiled. But now I'm saving my money to buy a PC. I want to start working too as soon as I finish my audiovisual course. And I think life is meant to be experienced through action and reaction, right? You do something, there's a reaction, as Newton says. Everything has a proportionate account and reaction. Something happens, there's a reaction. I just think that, life, it's very complicated to define life, right? Because we all do it differently. There isn't a better way or a wrong way, per se. If you hurt someone, then maybe that's not the best thing to do. Helping people in need is also very important, as Jesus would have done. But sticking to labels, I don't think labels define anything, really. You have a trajectory and you can tell your story, or something else, which will still be a story. When people are sad or lost, they cling to these ideas which do not necessarily mean it's true or not. They're like delusions or paranoia or schizophrenia or these mental illnesses. It's not just about the pills you take, it's about your mindset, really. So therapy, I'd recommend therapy for everyone. There's loads of types of psychological therapy. But I've been in therapy for years. Just like I had braces for years. Your body and your mind, Socrates. I just think that people overlook life and they go on autopilot mode, like the NPC, just walking through your job or your life without having a sense of purpose. Like it's a normal routine, The meat grinder, it seems very evil to say that. I never saw myself having a 10 to 9 job, an office job. My father works in an office. My brother works as a mechanic. And I do film, and I want to study history. Life is bringing you presents, right? It's Christmas. I got chocolates, t-shirts. My family loves me. I love them back, but sometimes I just get overwhelmed. I don't think anybody would be able to relate to my struggles, which caused harm to my family, but at the same time, I got better, per se. I think when people are there for you when you're at your worst spot, they want you to do good to you. Just reach out, talk to people. Let's turn to a PSA. I really liked a lot my life. I know when our bodies are meat bodies, bones and meat and organs and tissue. They are all tiny, extremely complex things. Biology, looking at the cells and how they're all alive and doing their job and being attacked and changing. It's just like your body is fighting while your mind, in your existence fights with your body, with nature and your senses and what you eat and how you exercise. It's quite amazing. Everything we are is moving and vibrating, and it's all about vibrations, waves and particles, moving about everywhere all the time. There's energy everywhere, and we have a very niche, a very small grasp on reality, which most animals or cells don't. Which we can feel things, we can understand ourselves as being alive, and at the same time, it's like we're not alive because we're in a huge universe, and it wouldn't matter or would not. We live for roughly 80 years, and then we die and we go somewhere else or do something else. Because I think our souls and our consciousness is infinite in a sense, I believe. But it's hard, to be human. You have to make money to be able to survive. You need shelter, the Maslow's laws of needs. I only have like 3 of those. And why are we here? What's the purpose of this all? Should we try to figure it out, like monks? Or should we live a life of constant pleasure and ego feeding? There's no correct answer in my view. You can do something horrendous and do something great at the same time. But I just think of my dog when I'm sad. He brings me happiness. People hate being alone. I get it. It sucks, but small things at one step at a time. If you're struggling, reach out, write your thoughts down, figure it out. Don't let the sadness take you completely hold of you. Like you're crying for days, not moving, doing anything. I just like to live and experience things like an adventure, like Lord Miles Rutledge, who went to the Kabul and Kenya and Somalia. Great Lawrence of Arabia. Just traveling the world and understanding what culture and life is like away from your surroundings. Just even if you're going to like an hour away, just walking, do it. It's raining now. If it wasn't raining, I'd be outside. I'm gonna make a pledge to myself to not stay in the computer too much because I get hooked on YouTube videos and listen to Spotify. But at the same time, I think our life is more than our existence, and it is our existence in itself. Without our existence, our conscious feeling alive in our bodies or who we are, we wouldn't exist. But we would exist in some other dimension, in my view, where our souls are entities. No excuse to go fucking killing all around. Like, this is pointless. Let's cause as much mayhem as possible, which is not the way to go. And some people get blinded when they're doing evil things. They don't either. They understand it or are doing it out of pure hate or spite, or they're oblivious to their actions at the time, like having a blank wall. Not saying we shouldn't try to stop these things, but it's complicated. There's the law. there's breaking the law, there's being above the law, being below the law. And laws are here to help us live, even though it's very easy to be taking advantage of the people. Because you get power, and with power corruption comes... I don't think it's all part of society's fault, in my view. That's too... I disagree with that. Because... I think we're born with innate personality traits. I read quite a few scientific articles about these. Like, just your personality comes in sort of like your genetics and your DNA of things of actions or pieces of your body that correspond to your familiars, to your family. Like you have dark hair, green eyes, more chance of being overweight or tall, and your personality too, your mind. It develops, and it only stops developing at 21 or 22. It's amazing what life can bring to us. We have to keep going, by the way. Things usually get better. It's a roller coaster. Bad, good, medium, like a wave. It's not some say it's a shoehorn of politics. I believe life is not a spectrum. I think it goes beyond a spectrum. Everybody says I think everybody's a bit neurodivergent, especially nowadays, where we're locked with our thoughts without having too much conversations. At least for me, I'm a lot on the internet, which is not a good thing. I'm not going all full Ted Kaczynski trying to destroy society. I just think we can find ways to live better than not just capitalism or communism or dictatorships. I just like conversations and telling stories, and this is my rationale, right? Philosophy is about questions. History is about what those questions led to in the past. Biology is about explaining our surroundings. Chemistry is our surroundings. Physics is our surrounding. Just tuned to different forms of it, right? Mathematics can go in there. Economics, sociology, anthropology, cinema. Everything's connected to humans and our sense of being alive. It's very strong. It gets your blood boiling. Like, oh, I feel so good. I'm alive. It's amazing, really, how we have this ability to, sense our thoughts and build from them and create things. I just like creating things. It feels so good. It's my calling, even though I may be a bit crazy. No, we're all a bit crazy. I just want people to try and be there themselves, and when hate comes, try to understand the other side. It's important to have these two conflicting points of views and find a third way or a fourth way or a fifth way. Because if you fail in life, you can just get back up, usually. And when you do, you'll probably learn something. If you fail again, get back up, try to change something, and carry on. I don't pretend to know everything. I don't. I'm very stupid, in fact, when it comes to mathematics. I can't do algebra or proper arithmetic. I can multiply, add, and divide, but not past 3 digits. But I'm very good at articulating ideas I feel and feeling people's needs. I try to help when I can. Does that make me a good person, or just someone trying to leech off people's needs? I like psychology because it just bakes into the people's minds to understand everything that's going on. I had my life has been amazing, nothing short of amazing. But I'm ready to grow as a person, get in more responsibility, and try to explore more, take more risks, take more responsibility. And lots of people are probably suffering, especially my age, because we have no sense of purpose, and we're all alone, usually males, and it's hard to make money, go to university, but we shouldn't stop. So please, if something bad is going on with you, try to reach out to anyone, even if they don't want to listen properly. And if you can't, then try to make the most of your life. Remember, we are bodies in a huge universe that can feel lots of things and have this sense of action. At least I hope, right? I don't know. I really don't know. That's why I'm making these videos, to try and understand life. It's odd. I'm odd. My whole existence has been crazy. It's been great. I learned so much. And I hope you do too, dear viewer. I hope you discover new things, discover yourself. Even sitting down and breathing, that's a start. Trying to build a Lego set, or make a puzzle, write a story. If you don't want to create, go ahead. It's gonna get quite boring, I feel. I'm just in the age of creation, It feels so right. It's like a calling, like the Jedi or the Sith, Harry Potter. These stories drive our ideas and make us feel different because it puts us in a different person's shoes. That's what movies are, putting it in a story, right? Yeah, I just hope people learn from their mistakes and keep trying. That's all that matters. Look at your ears.